Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the top 12 part of the definitive level 9 CPU tournament. Today we are having the combatants from the loser side of the bracket that will take us into our top 8 and then our quarterfinal rounds. Facing off. And we are starting with King Dedede, our number 15 seed, who knocked out our number 3 seed Ganondorf in the last round of the loser's side of the tournament, versus our number 40 seed Samus. Now, King Dedede doing a really good job initially here of racking up some percent, but he needs to do a better job of finishing out this stock to really reclaim that lead or establish a lead and make sure that he is on the top of his game. We've got a down air coming out there that was able to be shielded by Samus, and she air dodges around the Gordo before falling to a down tilt from King Dedede there. Quite nice work from Dedede to round out that stock. Dedede making it back to that right-hand ledge here. And Battlefield's a pretty interesting starting stage for sure. That Gordo hitting into Samus. She just doesn't have as many of these tools for getting away from some of her opponents. Yes, she's a projectile-based character, but really she's just got the benefit of being able to retreat to a platform if she wants to charge up that charge shot. And that excellent bait with the super missile there to finish the charge shot and send that out in order to reflect the Gordo and claim that stock was done very well on her behalf there. Ooh, a neutral air to Gordo combo happening from King Dedede to really put some additional percent onto Samus. Up tilt's not quite going to kill, but that up air will at that height of the topmost platform. So King Dedede still with a very commanding demonstration here in game 1 of this set. Another super missile there from Samus. It's been a very good move for her to use thus far, as it doesn't seem that King Dedede's found a reasonable answer to it, and it does quite well at getting rid of the Gordo that he throws out if she's able to get a good enough read on that. Both combatants trying to hit each other through those center platforms. And that Gordo is going to hit Samus down pretty low, but she is going to make it back to that left-hand stage. She has her charge shot on full and just ready to let it rip. If it does land, it will end King Dedede's stock at this percent, but she is now trying to get back to ledge and barely manages to do so as that Gordo stuck to the ledge despawns and allows an easier recovery back to the stage. Forward air from Samus is not going to get the connecting blow to finish off King Dedede, and the screw attack up above that left-hand ledge isn't going to do it either. King Dedede really trying to round this out, and that Gordo reflected back with the charge shot is not going to be the answer, but a down smash off that top platform would have killed had it not been for the Gordo hit that came after that altered the trajectory. Nice dash attack on the ledge there to finish things off King Dedede with the JV2 stock to take the early lead in this set. So Samus has got some contemplation to do as we go into game 2 to see if she can find a better counter pick to force that game 3, or if she is going to fall to an otherwise very flamboyant combatant here. King Dedede needs to keep this momentum up in order to secure a spot in the top 8 of this finals here. And we have a lot of attacks coming out from King Dedede on PS2 that are just causing more and more problems for Samus. That forward smash doesn't land, but the up tilt does, and the Gordo connecting there again, putting Samus up at 100, now 115%. And Samus finally getting her shield up ahead of that. The inhale reflection on that Gordo does a really good mix-up, but does not connect, unfortunately. She just does not have a decent answer. She falls to that up air yet again. That's been a really good move for King Dedede to close out some of these stocks earlier on. A nice back roll there to get away from the tether grab attempt from Samus. King Dedede needs to get a hit on. He gets the grab and the immediate down throw. You can't pummel when you're at that low of a percent, or you're not going to get really any meaningful damage out of that. Nice little down throw to up air combo taking place there. And the inhale not going to work on Samus this time around, unfortunately. King Dedede hanging out up higher up on this stage for a little bit. He hits into Samus with his down B at a very minimal charge, but does end up getting hit by the super missile in the process. And we've got a trade going on there. Samus does end up getting the benefit of lowering a stock, but she's still essentially a full stock behind her opponent here. And that super missile reflection is going to be more than enough to take that stock, and we still have a full stock lead for King Dedede here. Both combatants kind of dancing around each other. Down smash from Samus connects in very well. King Dedede back rolling around that ledge get up from Samus. Gets the Gordo to connect off that platform. Nice up smash from King Dedede. He's looking to close this thing out as quickly as he can. Rapid jab, finishing hit. Still way too low of a percent to kill, but that fully charged, or not even fully charged, but very strong forward smash at that left-hand ledge is going to be more than enough to pick up that last stock and give King Dedede a decisive 2-0 victory in this set. King Dedede will advance to our top 8 and will face off against the winner of our next match, which should be really close. So let's head over and see how that matchup goes. Alright, here we have our number 13 seed Byleth up against our number 14 seed Steve. And Byleth has been very well to do on the winner's side of the tournament, just barely making their way over to loser's side here for top 12. And Steve has had quite the impressive loser's side run up until this point. He took out Donkey Kong in the previous round. But both of these combatants doing very well over the tournament's progress as a whole. And Steve just barely missing out on that up smash after that ladder combo he was going for there. Steve with the current advantage. He sends that minecart away to attack into Byleth. The back air is going to send Byleth further away, giving him some time to mine up some more resources. And Byleth with the neutral get up there from ledge ends up going immediately into the TNT. And Steve has done very well the past couple of weeks with getting excellent punishes from that TNT there. And that forward smash angled up is going to be enough to claim that stock there. Steve going for that ladder combo right off the restock. Not a bad move for him at all, and we now see him take a moment to craft up his diamond tools. That's very scary, especially where he is still at 0% on this stock. Forward smash does not land the first time he uses it, but he runs back in as Byleth charges up the fail not and does get the punish out of there. Anvil not going to land there, but it does cause some problems for Byleth as he attempts to get around that ledge pressure getting back up there. Steve taking some time to mine up some more resources. He was getting a little dry on his iron, which does affect his side B and whether or not he can use that efficiently. Steve mining up more resources again. He doesn't quite have the resources he needs in order to power up his side B, but he's maxed out on his iron, which is really good for him for sure. He needs some redstone to power up his minecarts, or he does have it, so he uses it. And Byleth going to get up at ledge there and detonate himself as Steve uses ledge invincibility to get around that blast. And Steve recrafting his diamond tools to refresh the durability on them. Very controversial move there. I would not have done that because he is up at a higher percent and he wants to try and have that diamond on lockdown for that final stock. Admittedly, Byleth is up at 100%. He crafts the gold tools, which come out a little bit quicker and hit a little bit harder than the stone and iron tools in his kit. And just like that, we have an up air with the axe into the back air with the pickaxe that's going to claim that stock, giving Steve the win in round 1 of this set. So Byleth has to now determine a good counterpick stage and see if he can swing the tide back in his favor. And let's go see if he can do just that.
3, 2, 1, go!
And we have Kalos Pokemon League, which is admittedly a pretty good stage for Byleth. It gives him some more options for recovering if he's closer to the stage. Down smash, not going to land, but the back air will. And Byleth already trying to turn the tide and advantage of this matchup in his favor. Steve needs to continue to be able to mine up some resources in order to get a better handle on this match. He did very well with that in the first game of the set, but he needs to be able to continue keeping up on his resources. And as you can see by his resource bar, right now he is completely out of his side B option. He has no more iron left in his reserves, and he's just going to take the free restock balancing off of the restock there and craft some stone tools immediately to give himself a bit more efficiency than the wooden tools that he otherwise has on a restock. Lying prone at center stage, an interesting approach for him to be sure. Byleth just has a lot more familiarity and comfort at this particular stage, or maybe just got a lot more intel on his opponents earlier on in this match. Steve finally getting into a bit of a rhythm where he's able to mine up some more of his resources and has now upgraded to his iron tools, which could spell some problems for Byleth. And that Aeronfar not going to land that attack as much as he'd like. And the hit extension on the crafting table gives him just enough of an edge to get that Amir to land. And he now has a 2-stock advantage. Steve really having trouble in this set. I just don't think he's quite figured out what to do with these weird platforms. Aeronfar onward ahead on assault there from Byleth, really doing a lot of damage. Byleth looking for the 3-stock if he can pull it off. Steve is just not being as aggressive as he needs to be to really keep up on this, and it's kind of sad based off of what we saw in the first game of this set. I just don't think he likes the counterpick here. And he misses the up smash. That could have been the deciding factor for Byleth's first stock. Amir coming out again. We've got a down tilt to an up air, and that is going to be a 3-stock victory on Byleth's counterpick. So Steve just looked completely out of his element in that match, and he'll have to really do a better job at keeping closer to what he did in Game 1. But let's head to Game 3 and see who ends up progressing to top 8 and who finds themselves on the outside of the tournament. Hollow Bastion is the site for the final matchup here, and I think Steve knows what he needs to do here. It's a lot more similar to the Final Destination starting stage we had. That's 2 up smashes he's now landed very early on in this match against Byleth. And it's a very strong move, but more importantly, at this early stage of the game, it racks up a lot of damage on his opponents. So Steve looking to mine up some more resources. This is the type of gameplay that he needs to be doing this early on in the set in order to have a much better pace and stay ahead of his opponent. That being said, Byleth is not someone you can ever count out because of his varied arsenal there. We've got a tower of dirt blocks coming up there from Steve to try and wall off his opponent, but they do get taken down with an Aeronfar. Steve upgrading to some iron tools. That's going to give him some additional firepower to finish out some of the heavier hits against Byleth here. Gets the grab with the minecart a couple of moments ago before getting a parry grab there, and he's now switched out into gold tools, which again do hit a little harder even though they are a bit more fragile, and that back air is going to claim that first stock. Steve doing a much better job this time around than he did in Game 2. He just looked completely lost in Game 2. Up smash coming out there for Steve. Again, that's been a really good connecting hit for him on that central platform. and the Aranfar is going to come out and land on Steve to claim his stock there, which is not particularly great for Steve, but what can you really do at the end of the day? The crafting table has been replaced there, as it does reappear after a couple of seconds of being destroyed. Aranfar evening out the percent here between these two combatants, and oh, nice spot dodge on the Amir there. He didn't get caught up by it a second time. And I actually feel like in the last match he would have been fine, but because of the connecting hitbox with the crafting table, it messed up the timing on Steve's air spot dodge when it was used in the last set. I really do think that was the case. There was a whole lot of other problems as well. Both combatants making it back to that right-hand ledge. Steve, a couple moments ago, having claimed that second stock off of Byleth, is in a really healthy position here. Up smash on that central platform is very scary, but it does not end up taking that stock. Steve going to make it back to that right-hand ledge, taking the roundabout way of recovering. Probably a better move for him, all things considered. Nice series of rapid jab coming out there from Byleth. A little early on the Aranfar, doesn't get any punishing option out of it. Steve very low on resources, has a lot of stone to work with, but not a whole lot of anything else. And we have a nice little section of down tilt there from Steve. He's trying to get some more of his goods put together, but he's definitely going to benefit from having a little additional iron off the start of this final stock. We have not seen Steve get a single diamond over the course of this match, at least not from what I have seen, and I may have just missed it. But nice little dash attack coming out there from Steve, and an Aranfar coming through to cause some more problems for Steve there. Gotta be really quick in trying to finish out this match against Byleth here. Steve looking for that diamond, looking for that additional firepower. He goes for the gold bar instead. And he needs to be careful because Byleth is now up at a very high rage meter. And whoever falls is on the outside of the tournament. There's the diamond that Steve's been looking for. That could be monumental, but Byleth sends him far out into the right and then snipes him with the fail not to finish out that stock. Byleth with the reverse 2-stock, or 2-game victory, I should say, on Steve, and Steve has been eliminated from the tournament. Byleth will go on to face off against King Dedede in top 8 when we get to that next week. But it is now time for us to get to the second half of our top 12 competitors. So let's head over that way now. This is probably not a matchup that you would expect to be in your top 12. But here we are, our number 2 seeded King K. Rool against our number 28 seeded Me Gunner. And Me Gunner taking K. Rool for a ride here right off the start. K. Rool finally finding a bearing here and looking to cause some trouble for his opponent. K. Rool is going to make it back off of that. He's got a very versatile and capable recovery. But Me Gunner being very aggressive with that chase down. K. Rool throwing out that crown, doing a quite good job of that. We've got the blunderbuss there, looking to finish out some options for Sands. Gets caught up in the blunderbuss suction, and K. Rool is really holding out for as much damage from that blunderbuss as he can get. Secret missile comes out. K. Rool gets his shield up just in time for it. And an up tilt there from Me Gunner is going to cause K. Rool to have a lot of additional pressure he's got to keep an eye out for. Now, Me Gunner needs to be careful. He is not faced off against a lot of opponents that have a reflector, and K. Rool has a very scary reflector indeed. However, he gets the charge shot to take that first stock. K. Rool quickly responding shortly after the restock with a forward tilt to even us out at 2 stocks apiece. Nice use of the blunderbuss there to catch Steve off guard with that cannonball projectile. And Sans, again, going all out with those up smashes, getting a lot of damage applied out of that. That crown connects into Sans and causes some additional trouble with some percent. Sans going for down tilts, but facing the other direction, looking for a ledge roll read, but doesn't get it, ends up paying a little bit of a dear price for it. K-Rool gonna make it back to the stage. We've got ourselves a grab and a forward throw. And we've got a ledge roll and a back roll to match. However, it's still really anyone's game. These two combatants are keeping things very close to home. We need a strong connecting hit from either combatant. That dash attack is going to be just that. Sans again with the advantage here. And Sans getting a little bit more damage in off the start as opposed to losing some of that option earlier on here. And the snipe with the blunderbuss cannonball recapture there gets the stock, and we're now on the final stock of game 1 in this set. K-Rool being a lot more aggressive, which he definitely needs to be here. Gets a parry on the first strike of that forward smash, but it's a multi-hit, and I don't think I've seen anyone successfully avoid the entirety of that move. King K. Rool with the nice little jab to forward smash combo, even without a final spark screen, turns this around and proves his dominance in this matchup. And you would expect nothing less from the number 2 seed of the tournament. But it's now Sans' turn to pick a counterpick stage, so let's see if he can change the tide of the momentum a little bit here. So, we are headed to Smashville for Game 2. Sans taking advantage of that platform riding in at the start of the game. And a nice little use of that blunderbuss again. Sans just isn't quite familiar with the trajectory on that, and you can tell because he's jumped into that a couple of different times now. Nice up smash coming out there from Sans. He has a charge shot ready to go, and he does land it, getting the jump read there on K-Rool. K-Rool really in a bit of a sticky situation, makes it back from a very low point, gets hit by Sans' down air, responds with a down air to up smash of his own. And Sans, again, going for that down air at ledge, does not get it, which could be problematic for him. K-Rool fishing for a counter there, and the down smash from Sans is going to take that first stock, which is similar to what we saw in Game 1, Sans taking an early lead. He'll just need to keep up that pressure in order to maintain an advantage here if he wants to do better in this Game 2. Up air, not going to land there for Sans, and gets hit by the recoiling crown and misses his call out with that charge shot in its own right. Doesn't get anything from the up tilt. That's generally a really good move for K-Rool, and he opts for the short hop back air on stage to finish out that stock, but he's still down 70%. Sans letting that charge shot fly right as it reaches full charge, and then lets another charge shot loose. Sans gets caught up in that blunderbuss again. K-Rool really needs to get some more damage in on his opponent, and that up B, I mean, gets some chip damage in there, but not a whole lot. Down air hits the sour spot, sends K-Rool off to the right-hand side. It's not enough to finish him out, though. That up smash certainly will, as it scoops K-Rool off of the ledge roll. And K-Rool still at a very heavy deficit here. Ooh, a delayed single jab into down tilt, but it does not land. Could have buried Sans and put him in a really bad position if he had landed that down tilt, that he had enough time to put up his shield there. Full hit on that forward smash, and he goes for it again. Sans looking to close this out as quickly as he can. Charge shot goes out a little bit late, and we have a drop down through that platform. I wasn't aware that K-Rool could do that with his blunderbuss out, but apparently he can. And a back air again from K-Rool is going to take that second stock, but he is now at a 100% deficit and would now have to have a miraculous fight back here in order to send Sans packing. He's done well enough early on here. He's turning up the heat. Sans needs to close this out quickly or he's going to watch this game and this set and this tournament slip right out of his fingers. Gets hit by the blunderbuss. And the up tilt coming out from Sans. We have a down air trade between the two, and Rool pulls off a miraculous comeback against Sans, who looked like he had that second game in the bag. A very decisive victory for Rool there, and he will be headed to our top 8 to face off against the winner of our next match, which I'm really excited to see, so let's head over to that right now. And here we are, starting at Northern Cave. We have Pyra Mythra, seed number 30 in this tournament, and a recent addition to the loser's side, versus our number 4 seed, Olimar. Now, Olimar has been on the loser side for a little bit here. Apart from Rool, he's the highest seeded member of the tournament still in play. And Pyra really putting the hurt on these Pikmin here. And that Burning Edge, or that Blazing Edge, I should say, is going to do a really good job at countering those hits. And the Flame Nova at the left ledge is going to take that first stock off of Olimar. We have not seen Mythra yet. We may not need her as much as one might initially believe, because Pyra has been doing a very good job countering Olimar and his options here. Blazing End getting another connection there. And Olimar just does not have an answer to this Pyra. We've got that tilt coming out, neutral air connecting into Olimar, and it must be a singular hit on any given entity, because we saw the hit onto Olimar and then onto a Pikmin in the same application of the neutral air there. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind when playing this particular matchup. Blazing End doesn't get a whole lot of damage onto Olimar that time around. Olimar needs to find an option to finish off this stock. We see Mythra make an appearance for the first time, making a run in against Olimar there, but she is just getting thrown around by these Pikmin. Quick switch back to Pyra. I think that's the better answer there. We have a neutral air coming out yet again. And Olimar finally getting back up to his 3 Pikmin. Does not get hit by that Prominence Revolt, which is better off for him. The purple Pikmin side B ends up sending Pyra too far off to the side. Even the switch to Mythra couldn't have saved that stock. Pyra coming back out, trying to finish off this stock. Blazing End coming out, not going to be enough. It's really hard to get that move to kill on its own. You've got to be up at a very high percent. But that neutral air is going to do it. Olimar now down again in a disadvantaged state. And he's restocked with his vanilla set of Pikmin. Nice little neutral air to forward air there. Red Pikmin putting in a lot of really good work for Olimar. Pyra, risky move using Blazing End there, but does manage to make it back to the ledge. And that Prominence Revolt is going to land a dastardly strike onto Olimar. Way too low of a percent for it to actually kill, but it still put him in a scary position out there in that blast zone. The wrong DI would have been really bad for Olimar to do. Again, now up at 70%. Olimar just does not appear to have a really good answer to this Pyra. Mythra coming out here, and Olimar finally getting some damage in on his adversary, but we have that neutral air from Pyra coming out there, or Mythra coming out there to deal more damage to those Pikmin. Olimar up at 93%. I would not be surprised if we see the switch back to Pyra right now to finish things off, and indeed we do. We just need a strong connecting hit, and we don't get it as the stock is taken, but immediately off of the restock, we do see it in the form of that neutral air. Pyra with a very clear victory over Olimar here. He just did not seem comfortable with this matchup at all. And now we have to see if Olimar can turn the tide of this momentum, or if he's just going to continue to fall victim to that speed. And Town and Country. Interesting counter pick for Olimar here. But Pyra really continuing that all-on assault early on here. And that red Pikmin survived that Prominence revolt. That was not what I expected. That's, I mean, it's a fire-based attack, so it does make sense to a degree. Nice series of nairs coming out here for Pyra. And Olimar still looks like he's struggling a fair amount. Actually getting some decent hits in here, though. That white Pikmin's down. There's now 2 red Pikmin in Olimar's rotation. Ooh, nice little stage spike there, and a good tech from Olimar as a reaction there. Mythra coming back out. She hasn't done a whole lot in this set thus far, but that may change. We've got a dash attack coming out. Olimar burning 2 of his Pikmin in order to make it back to the ledge there. He was sent very far off to the right. Got a grab and a back throw. And a nice Prominence Revolt there as a punishing option from Pyra to finish off that stock. And a forward air coming out for Olimar to even things out a little bit. So he's keeping things a little bit closer than we saw in the first set here. And a nice up air to dispatch that red Pikmin. Man, these platforms are just causing a lot of problems for Pyra, and you can tell she's not entirely comfortable with this layout because it's not nearly as decisive of a victory as we saw in the first set there. And Pyra fishing for some killing options. That's down smash didn't get anything for her really. Just gets around that purple Pikmin side B. Nice series of neutral airs coming out here to cause a lot of problems for Olimar. He just has not found a good answer to the neutral air from Pyra. Pyra goes for the forward smash, catches Olimar in the middle of the air. There's very little you can do when you get struck with a forward smash from Pyra, especially that far off to the side. That will kill you very, very early. And Mythra coming out here to hopefully rack up some additional percent, but Pyra just hasn't done a whole lot. I think Olimar has a better amount of control against Pyra than he has had against Mythra, I should say, than he's had against Pyra. Nice little side B coming out there from Pyra to get some additional damage in. She makes it back to ledge. We'll probably see a switch back over to Pyra if I'm not mistaken here. Nice up tilt. That's a bit more than what I would have expected from her. Down air from that red Pikmin at center stage. And we have a down tilt into a Lightning Buster. Now we have the switch back over to Pyra. She wants to try and finish this out if she can. Purple Pikmin, or white Pikmin down. We have a purple Pikmin, a red Pikmin, yellow Pikmin out here. And that purple Pikmin does land and sends Pyra off to that right-hand side, or left-hand side. She would have made it back if it wouldn't have been for the chase down from Olimar. So he's doing a little bit of a better job keeping tabs in this set than he did in this match than he did in the first one. 3 Pikmin back out again. We had to have a full refresh. And an up smash there from Pyra doesn't quite get the connection. Both combatants fighting to get back to this right-hand ledge, but the scoop up of the Prominence Revolt there from Pyra is going to give us a decisive victory. Olimar just has a lot of vulnerability on his recovery back to ledge, so he has been eliminated. Pyra Mythra will have to face off against our number 2 seed King K. Rool in top 8. And we will get into those matchups next week. And top 8 is where the move set, or the rule set of the tournament changes. So we will be in best of 5 starting next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for the daily variety content. And I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.